Our television series Hope in Motion has been a big success, and we want to continue to share with you some of the field stories that we have filmed over the years. So just from time to time, it may refer to Asian Aid as we reflect on these great stories as we share them with you.
Child Impact International is an organization giving hope. Previously called Asian Aid, Child Impact International is an organization fostering permanent positive change in the lives of disadvantaged children and their communities. Child Impact is committed to making a difference in the lives of children and those who are in need, serving communities in India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and will soon expand to other countries. For the last 50 years, Child Impact has invested in the futures of people, and their investment has proven infinite returns. Driven by the dedication to helping those who have the least, Child Impact is an organization focused on the welfare of children, implementing diverse development projects, and sponsoring thousands of children. Their outreach spans from child rescue operations to providing an education for orphans, deaf, and the blind children, giving them a sense of place, a home. But above all, Child Impact is an organization giving hope to children, giving hope to communities, giving hope to the ones who need it the most. This is Hope in Motion.
I will always remember my first day in India. Here I was, thousands of miles away from home, walking into a slum in the middle of Visakhapatnam. Anxiously, I strode into its narrow alley as my colleague Shauna and I were led to a nondescript building, a community school project run by Asian Aid, situated right in the middle of this slum. This trip was a chance for Shauna and me to experience firsthand how Asian Aid's projects and its sponsorship program are having a positive impact on the underprivileged children in India and Myanmar. For me, the impact was very evident here in the slum as I saw bright, bubbly children sitting in their classrooms. Even though learning conditions were not what I was used to seeing, these children were being given an opportunity to get an education in a very unlikely place. This school is an oasis in the midst of extreme hardship.
Asian Aid involvement is very important here in the slum area. The children need education. Previously no school here. All children are working for the shops as daily laborers and the child laborers. After Asian Aid started this school, all the children are going to the school, getting very good education and getting good food, and the parents are happy. Community is happy, children are so happy and enjoying with their daily activities.
Talking to Naomi, the headmistress, I was able to better understand how important this school is to the children who live in this slum, and how Asian Aid sponsors and well-wishers are making a difference in the lives of children like Kavya. That's nice. This is Kavya, and she's in the second standard here in this school here that Asian Aid is providing. She's one of the students at this school who does not have a sponsor, but because of the people who provide monies for the unsponsored children, she's able to attend a school. Her father collects coal alongside the train track that runs right past the school. Her mother sweeps the grounds and the roads, but neither of these jobs are permanent. They don't bring in money at all, hardly. And sometimes the families are in the area have to provide food for them. But because of Asian Aid, because of your support, she gets fed here at school, she gets an education, and she's going to be able to go on and become something more than what her parents have done with themselves. Just like you would want something better for your children, they want something better for their children too. And Asian Aid helps that happen. And the community is very happy to have this school in their midst. So thank you for being a part of Asian Aid and helping Kavya come to school here. The heat and humidity were stifling, but meeting these lovely children and the staff at the slum school energized me, and I was looking forward to more experiences as we headed toward Bubbly. I've always wanted to ride on one of these. We're in Bubbly, and Bubbly holds a special place in our hearts because our School for the Blind and Sunrise Children's Home are located here. Through our work, these two very important institutions are demonstrating God's love to the people in Bubbly and the surrounding area. Here we are witnessing for the Lord and having a mighty impact on the lives of people, especially the children. The Asian Aid School for the Blind is a beautiful campus surrounded by paddy fields just outside Bubbly town. This special needs school cares for the visually challenged children through specially designed programs that not only provides them with an education, but also helps a blind child build self-esteem and gives them hope for a future. In a society where physical disability is considered a curse, the School for the Blind plays an important role in dispersing these unfortunate notions in the community.
It's type of cultural thing that if my child go outside, people will point out, see, this man was cursed by God, that's the reason this boy was born with blindness, or this girl was born blind. So that's how they hide things. So they don't let their children to have education or anything. So this school plays a key role in motivating such kind of parents and tell them that this is not correct. This is not the correct way of thinking. You send your child to a school and we will teach them how differently able they are. And we tell them that they can learn and they can be competitive along with the normal children. So we teach them everything.
The Asian Aid School for the Blind in Bubbly is very important on a number of levels for Asian Aid and the community. First of all, the children that come to our school are from very, very poor villages. Quite often these children are rejected by society. Quite often the parents are in a real dilemma what to do with their child. Sometimes they hide their child, sometimes they lock their child away. So first of all, it gives the parents huge satisfaction and a sense of worth that their child can go to school. Secondly, it gives the child an education that they would have never had. And thirdly, it gives them chance for work and it gives them self-worth and it makes their family feel very proud.
As I was given a tour of the campus, I met Paulia. Paulie is a 10th grade student, and like the majority of the students at the school, he was born blind.
My parents were working as a farmers, and when I was born, my mother was passed away, and after that there is I have one grandmother. She used to take care of me, and my father used to go to a farm and work. And after few years, he married one. I have one stepmother.
Paulia comes from a small village about 1 hour's drive from the school. Having already lost their firstborn son at childbirth, Paulia's parents were looking forward to the birth of their second son.
ఇంటికాడే పుట్టాడు పుట్టాడనేసి నేను వాళ్ళ తాతగారింటికి చెప్పడానికి వెళ్ళిపోను శుభ్రంగా పుట్టాడని అటు నుండి వచ్చారు కళ్ళు లేవని ఊరల్లా గుప్పమని అంత అంటారు అప్పుడు చూస్తే మరి కళ్ళు లేవు.
Before Paulia's father and his family could recover from the shock of him being born blind, his mother died within a few days. The responsibility of caring for him fell on his grandmother, but while he was still young, his grandmother too passed away. Paulia's father remarried just so he would have somebody to take care of his son while he was away working in the fields. Taking care of a blind child for a farmer's family can be a big burden. Even though they love their son, in spite of his disability, they cannot always provide for his special needs. Fortunately for Paulia, a headmaster of the local village school informed Paulia's family about Asian Aid School for the Blind in Bubbly and convinced them to take him to the school. Thanks to Asian Aid sponsorship program, Paulia now aims to complete his education and become an employee of the Indian Railways.
We want to study because we are blind and we want to target we want to stay like a sighted person, and we want to be like them only, and we want to achieve something in our lives.
So you've had a tremendous story. I have really enjoyed listening to your experience. Meeting Paulia has been a tremendous blessing to me, and I'm looking so forward to hearing more about him as the years go by, and I'm especially looking forward to the day when I can meet him in heaven and we can talk and he can tell me, and we can meet together with his sponsor and we can tell each other the stories of how God has worked in his life, and we can see everything come together, and Paulia can hold hands with his sponsor and we can make it'll be an amazing day when we're all together in heaven. The Bible tells us that one day we'll meet in heaven, and I'm looking forward to that day when Paulia will be made perfect and we'll be able to spend eternity with our Father. Paulia, you are perfect as you are. You may not be able to see as I can see, but you can see better than I can see because you have abilities that I don't have. Your vision is better than my vision in different ways. And I'm just so looking forward to learning from you. And I think that we can all learn from each other and know that we all have different abilities. Paulia is not disabled. He's differently abled. And that's what makes you unique and special in the eyes of God. The next day we drove through mountainous terrain to the town of Jaipur, where lies Emmanuel English Medium School, an Asian Aid-supported school in the state of Odisha. The school, as I was told, is situated in a tribal region, and the children that attend this boarding school are from these poor tribal areas. Thanks to sponsorship, these children, from Adventist and non-Adventist backgrounds, have the opportunity to attend a school like this and receive quality education. And for someone like Ruth, attending school here has had a personal impact on her life. She has learned much more than what is taught in the classroom.
I learned about the Moses. Again in 10th class I learned our true Sabbath day. Again how we will prove that true Sabbath day. Saturday is the true Sabbath day. Again I learned about crucifixion. My tears rolled down. Again I told my father that one about the crucifixion, and I told to my grandmother also. She was non-Christian. After I told, she accepted as a personal savior, my grandmother.
It's amazing what you're doing when you sponsor Ruth. You're not just sponsoring her for her education, you're providing evangelism, true evangelism. Ruth, I think it's just amazing what you were able to go home and share this message with your father and your friends as well. I'm just looking forward to the day to be able to hear more about you and to see you when you become a nurse. And that maybe I'll be hurt someday and you can be my nurse and my doctors. And I would be proud, and to know that Asian Aid had a part with this and that I could really have a part to help you learn about Christ and to learn to be evangelists as you went home and did that with your family.
Ruth and her friends Angelie and Mimi consider a privilege to live and attend school here.
How old are your brothers and sisters?
For someone like Ruth, sponsorship is very important. Without sponsorship, she would not be privileged to study over here. And it is because of this sponsorship that she could complete her studies. She is going to complete this year. And after that, she is planning for a bright career ahead. Without sponsorship, she would have remained in a village, and by now she would be married, and she might be settled like any other child in this area. So the education here has made a difference, and she is hoping for a bright future because of sponsorship. The girls' hostel.
Okay.
The center is the dining hall and kitchen,
Okay.
and the staff quarters around it.
Okay, wow. Mr. Punda is the principal here, and he told me that it was a beautiful sight to climb up on this hill and look over this beautiful school, the beautiful buildings. But what good is a beautiful campus without students? Over 900 students come to school here because of the sponsor who makes it possible. Earlier today, I talked with Ruth, and Ruth told me her story, how she has learned about Christ coming to school here. She went home and told her father in this area, which is very much a very Orthodox Hindu area. Her father has begun to accept Christ and has changed the family dynamics. Not just education is happening here, but evangelism as well. This beautiful campus, these wonderful students, because of the sponsor. This is just an amazing, amazing campus. Asian Aid is proud to be associated with you here, and we're so proud to have sponsors help us make this happen for you. This is just a wonderful campus. I love it. This has been a very emotional journey for me so far. We've only been in India for a few days, but yet I'm already seeing changes in the lives of young people. Children, that is. I could see all the movies, I could read all the articles, but nothing prepared me for what I would feel inside when I touched the hands of the children, when I looked into their eyes and saw the hope that is being given to them. It just really made me realize how important Asian Aid is and how important you are to our ministry. It makes me even more excited when I think we're traveling to Myanmar and I'm going to see more projects and see more young people, more children that I can look into their eyes and feel their hands and say, we've made a difference.
A couple of years ago, my daughters and I had a wonderful opportunity to travel to India. And while we were there, we met yet another part of our family. That's our sponsor daughter, Sheila. We've had the privilege of sponsoring Sheila through Child Impact International for more than 3 years now. And you know, while we were there, she shared with us that her dream was to become a nurse. Now, it's a wonderful privilege for us as a family to know that she is fulfilling that dream. Sheila is now studying to be a nurse. She's in college, and we could not be happier for her. It's been wonderful to be part of that journey with her. And you know, sponsoring a child through Child Impact, it's made an incredible difference for our family. And I know that for you, sponsoring a child can make a difference for you too. But most importantly, it can make the difference in the life of a child every day.
At Adventist mission schools like this one in Bangladesh, Child Impact International sponsors hundreds of children. We often think that sponsorship only impacts on the life of the child, but it's much wider than that. It impacts on the parents and on the community. But more important, it impacts on this school. It becomes valuable income for this school, and then in turn, it impacts on hundreds of other children. I just ask that you would consider sponsoring a child with Child Impact or supporting one of its valuable projects that will improve education in Adventist mission schools like this one right here.
Our journey took us to our next destination, Myanmar. On a balmy Sabbath morning, we reached Myanmar Union Adventist Seminary, the only Adventist college in all of Myanmar. How fortunate we are to belong to the family of God. Here I am thousands of miles away from home, and yet I'm not a stranger. Across the street from the college is an Adventist academy, and I was privileged to be part of the Sabbath services with the children and the staff at the school.
We're in Myanmar now, at Myanmar Union Adventist Seminary, actually just across the street at one of its feeder schools, where we've just completed worshiping. Even though on this beautiful Sabbath day I'm thousands of miles from home, I felt as though I was part of a family of God. The spirituality here is fantastic. Myanmar Union Adventist Seminary is the only Adventist college in the entire country of Myanmar. The students here will be preachers, they'll be teachers, and they'll be business people, going out into Myanmar, spreading the gospel that they're learning here. I'm so proud to be part of Asian Aid, and I'm sure you are as well, to know that your sponsorship dollars are not just educating, but they are evangelizing, and they are teaching the future leaders of the Adventist Church. These are the future of the entire Adventist Church is learning here at this one and only college of the Adventist Church in Myanmar.
Back at the college, I met Tintin, and I learned how attending college here has had a profound impact on her life and that of her family. Her story reminded me of Ruth back in India.
What is it you want to become?
I want to become a teacher or nurse.
Okay. I'm here with Tintin, and she's been telling me her story. She wants to become a teacher. She wants to go back to her very poor environment where she's come from and teach the children not only to read and to write and to do arithmetic, but she also wants to teach them the love of Christ that she's come to know. The sponsorship program at Asian Aid has enabled her to get an education, and she wants to use that education to teach others. The ripple effect has gone on. It's beyond what you've given to her. It's beyond what she's learned. It's now going forward. It's not just education, it's evangelism.
Meeting Tintin and learning how attending Adventist schools and colleges bring these young girls and boys closer to God was uplifting. And as we moved to our next destination, it emphasized the important role that Asian Aid and its sponsorship program are playing in the mission of the Adventist Church in Myanmar.
This is the farthest I've come so far. We're in the central region of Myanmar now at Mountain View Academy. This afternoon I was able to tour the grounds with the principal, and he showed me the dormitories and the classrooms where the students learn. All this is made possible because of donations. Donations given by donors just like you. But what really brought a smile to my face was when I saw the students interacting with each other. I saw them playing and laughing, and it just brought joy to my heart, realizing this is far more than a school. This is their home.
Someone who has made this school her home is Misha. Misha comes from a remote village, which is about a 2-day bus ride from the school. Both their parents have gone through second marriages and they are uneducated. They live a simple life tending to their small patch of land. Misha came to the school 3 years ago and has not gone home for the annual holidays, and her parents have not come to see her either.
And your friends are kind and you have good teachers here?
Yes.
That's nice. As a father, Misha's story just astounds me. It makes my heart ache when I think of all that I've been able to learn about her. She's 13 years old, she's in the 4th grade, and she's not been home in over 3 years. Why? Because it costs $100 to travel 2 days to her home where she came from. $100, and she could be able to see her family and her father and her mother, but she's not able to go home. Misha is just one of 20 or so students at this school who are not able to go home. It just really breaks my heart to think that she's getting a great education. That's a great thing, but the idea that she's not able to go home and her parents are not able to see her. As a father, that just really tugs at my heart. It really makes me long for my children, and I see them all the time. I can only imagine what her parents are going through with her here away from home.
Although her story touched me deeply, I took joy in the fact that I found her happy. I'm hopeful this is a temporary separation from her family. I'm hopeful she'll grow up to be a strong woman. And with her sponsors' continued support, I'm hopeful she'll have a bright future. After all, isn't this what sponsorship is all about?
What a trip this has been. A whirlwind trip. I came to India and Myanmar looking to see examples of some of the hope that Asian Aid is bringing to the children in this region. But what I saw was far more than hope. I saw lives being transformed. Lives being transformed by the people living right here. People who work with these children on a daily basis, with the children, with the abandoned, with the orphans, with the truly needy. These people are the real missionaries in this real life mission field. But what really touched my heart was when I was able to visit with some of the Asian Aid sponsored children, to shake their hands, to sit with them and listen to their stories. There was Paulia at the blind school, and Ruth in Jaipur, and Misha, who's so far away from home at Mountain View Academy. I'm so proud to be a part of Asian Aid, bringing smiles to these children, bringing hope to them. Working together with sponsors like you, we can bring more smiles and more hope to these children as we work with them.